This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
A little after a quarter after 12 on a Wednesday here on Halftime, ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. Means we get to talk with Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation. Alyssa, happy middle of the week. You can see the weekend approaching.
Thank you.
We got a lot of Razorback sports coming up with crossover season. How are you?
I'm doing well. Just eating lunch after getting out of an interview with Devos Davis. Always fun to catch up with him. And a lot of action going on in Bud Walton Arena today with the women in their exhibition game. But personally, doing well.
What are Devos Nails look? We were talking about the nails in the last segment.
Just talking about mani-pedis, yeah.
Yeah. What do his nails look like?
Still those flames he was sporting at SEC Media Day, but he told us these are old. I got to get them done. I think he'll probably get them done before the season starts next Tuesday. But rocking those cool black and white flames.
I love it, man. I'll go get a mani-pedi. I don't know that I'm going to paint them like a candy cane, but I'll definitely I'll go get a mani-pedi all day. Yeah, I like it.
Alyssa, what color are your nails?
Yeah, they're nice. Oh gosh, right now they're natural because they're broken and kind of gross. And I hate to say that, but I need to get them done desperately because I'm a little behind with my nail tech.
Well, you could have lied about it.
Do you go theme? Yeah, I was going to ask Alyssa. Do you?
I didn't want to fib, and I'm also a mom. I get my nails done, and then they break in 2 days because I'm chasing an 18-month-old, and
Fair enough.
All right, so I was going to mention women's basketball, but we'll bring that up in a moment. Bummer for the soccer team last night.
Yeah.
We've been so used to them advancing to the tournament championship game in the SEC that, it's kind of shocking considering the season they had to lose in their first go-around in the league tournament this year. But just looked like a cruel game yesterday. I think they outplayed Vanderbilt from start to finish, but that's when it went to PKs, it didn't matter anymore. I mean, they're going to go to the NCAA tournament. It's just I think they expected a longer stay in Pensacola.
Yeah, I think so. And you always expect that, like you mentioned, from a Colby Hale team. And look, they've gone to the SEC championship game 6 years in a row. So like you said, that's what we're used to. And we were hoping it would be lucky number 7 and they would be able to win this one and finally have an SEC tournament title. But Vandy got him again. And look, Vandy got him a couple of years ago in the NCAA tournament. And I think they were like a 6 or 7 seed and beat them in the championship game. And when things come down to penalty kicks, it truly does just even things back out when it comes to teams. Like you said, they played so much better than Vandy did up until the end. And you hate that. But you hope that they're able to kind of look at themselves, tweak some things, and get ready for this NCAA tournament. Phil, I was worried heading into this. I know that they put up 6 goals against Kentucky, but if you look at their other 2 games against Ole Miss and LSU, they were ended in a tie and no one scored. And scoring has been tough for them a little bit more this year than it has in the past. And so you hope you're able to kind of right that ship and get it going when it matters here in the NCAA tournament. But you saw it yesterday, just 1 goal for the Razorbacks. Scoring's been tough, and they got to find a way to get it going.
What is the key to their success? Where are they getting these ladies from? Are a lot of them in-state guys, or are they recruiting down there in Bradenton and Florida? I'm trying to think of some of these soccer academies. What is the secret to their success to have that awesome run?
Yeah, well, right now, Coach Hale just can recruit nationally. You've got someone in B. Franklin who's from Seattle, Washington, who transferred in from Notre Dame, and then you have their goalie, Grace, and her last name escapes me at the moment, but she transferred over from Princeton this year. I believe the Potajo sisters are from somewhere up north, and then you're able to bring in, like I said, he's got those roots in Florida from when he coached before. So he's able to really recruit nationwide and bring in some of the best. And now he's developed this brand that's a national brand. And when you think about, when I was in college way back in the day, Florida State, who has won a couple national titles, has always been good, but it's North Carolina's and the Dukes. Those were big power women's soccer schools. And Arkansas has been able to kind of join that list of big power soccer schools that people want to play for. And that's why he's been able to put some of these women into women's professional teams, as well as recruit some of the best to come here to the Hill. So recruiting is not a problem at all.
All right, we got basketball at Bud Walton tonight. Women's team against UAFS. No TV, no radio, but there'll be plenty of people that are really interested in this team. We've noted the size of the team. They might be a lot better defensively, and think in some cases than we've seen in previous years. Two players I can't wait to watch, and they practiced with Arkansas last year, so you could see the athleticism, the size of them, and shooting ability in some cases. I can't wait to watch Maryam Dowda from Bentonville, of course. She seems to be somebody who could be kind of a little bit of a unicorn for Arkansas, because they haven't had somebody of that height to play the 5, maybe ever. And then the other is Sailor Poffenbarger, and I got to remember to say her name the right way. Transferring over from UConn, a 6'2" guard with shooting ability, with some pizzazz. These are two players that, quite frankly, you haven't had players like this at Arkansas in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be really fun to watch, and I think a lot of Arkansas women's basketball fans, sad that you didn't get to see Miriam play last year with that injury. And she redshirted last year because they chose to go ahead and just heal and redshirt her. So everyone is highly anticipated to see her. She's originally committed to Baylor and then came to Arkansas after Mulkey went to LSU, and she is just so talented and fun to watch in the little bit of practice that I've been to, and then everything that I've heard about Sailor is top-notch. We were back over there, like I mentioned. Chrissy Carr was up there getting shots in with Coach Schaefer, and I'm excited to see how Mike Neighbors really handles this roster and all the talent that he has, and how things work and what matchups and groups we're going to see on the court this year. Are we going to get Sam and Michaela in there at the same time, or is it kind of going to be like, Michaela and this group and Sam and this group? Because he has so much depth to work with. We might be seeing a whole bunch of different lineups throughout the season just because of how talented they are. So it's going to be fun to just see, and I get it's UAFS, but to see what this team can do and how they've grown this chemistry with all the new pieces that they have this year. And obviously they've got a lot coming to them in the SEC, and so I'm just kind of excited to see where they stack up with the rest of the league.
Yeah, I think they're going to be fun to watch. I'm kind of jealous. Phil's going to get to see him up close a lot. Speaking of Liberty, we got Liberty against. What does this Liberty team do well? Are you nervous at all? Is there any chance Arkansas has a letdown? Are they looking ahead to this LSU game? Is Liberty talented enough to beat this Arkansas team?
I'm going to say this. I think that Liberty has the ability to come in here and upset Arkansas if Arkansas is not careful. We saw how much they were able to have success against BYU, a team they beat 41-14 at Liberty, versus how Arkansas played BYU in Provo the week before. So they can score. We know that Hugh Freeze, even though this is a Liberty team, coached in the SEC, understands what the SEC is about. He's not scared at all to come into Fayetteville. He's done it before, and they've got pieces to win. So I think Liberty can be a scary team for sure. If you look at upsets across the board this weekend, I think I like how Arkansas was playing out of the bye week against Auburn. I really liked how they showed against Auburn, so I'm not worried about them. But I do think people need to take this Liberty team seriously. And so it's homecoming. A lot of people are going to be here. It's a 3 o'clock kick. But this team has got to be ready, because Liberty can punch you in the face, and they might a couple times. Arkansas just needs to be ready to punch back.
Yeah, homecoming's always tricky with the players and with the festivities and how you got to keep everybody focused. Liberty, if they got some talent. Hugh Freeze is going to put up some points, and this Arkansas team struggles to stop people at times. So if they can have a bend, don't break. But that's interesting. I didn't know it was homecoming week, but hopefully they'll be focused up and not looking forward to anything else, or that LSU. That LSU-Alabama game is tricky to me. I actually like LSU a little bit at home against Alabama this week.
Yeah, I do too. That's going to be a fun one in Baton Rouge, and it always is. Those two teams always play well. It's always a really defensive-driven game, and I don't think this one is going to be. So we'll see how that one shapes up. I think that's the game to watch in the SEC this week. And it's going to be really, really fun to see what happens. But here's the deal, right? Arkansas is looking at a 5-win season right now. they're a game away from a bowl game. I hope that they can take care of business and check that box, and so they don't have to worry about it heading in to LSU next week as an LSU team is coming off an Alabama game, whether or not they win or lose that game. I'd like for Arkansas to take care of business, get that 6th win, and then move forward, not have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a foregone conclusion they're going to be at least bowl eligible. And when you look ahead, and Ole Miss and LSU are going to be really tough games. And going on the road to Missouri has never been easy, even when Mizzou hasn't been all that good. But I think Arkansas can take care of business there. Are we all right with just a bowl game? Are we all? We got. I don't know. Greedy's the right word, but I mean, we got to Florida last year.
We got hopeful. Yeah,
exactly. It's like 6 wins is nice, but that feels like it should be the low bar.
Yeah, got a little selfish. Here's the deal. Spent a lot of time on the beach in Tampa, and I liked it a lot. If we can repeat that, it'd be great. You look at the list, and this is no offense to the Liberty Bowl or even to Nashville, but, man, I just really like warm weather. So that is the goal, a warm weather bowl, right?
The last I went, I believe when Arkansas played ECU in Nashville, or was that was cold, man. That was not any fun. Yeah.
No, I think the Liberty Bowl when they played Kansas State, it's so cold. No, thank you.
Well, it's also just to see that there's still momentum moving forward. I guess you'll feel that way. Yeah. Just getting to a bowl game and with recruiting momentum too, but like you don't want to drop. Like you got 8 regular season wins last year. I mean, that's where some of the greed comes from. It's like you kind of still have this expectation if it's going to be a better team than the year before, even though I think the schedule's a little tougher. Like you feel like you need to get back to that level. I don't know if they end up with a 7-win regular season. I don't know if I look at it as necessarily backsliding, but you want to see at least the same number of wins, right?
Right. Yeah, I think you do. And I think from a fan perspective and from our perspective too, look, you go to a bowl game. You could have been at the Texas Bowl, right, playing TCU a couple of years ago, and then that didn't happen. And then you even upgrade from a bowl game you didn't play in, but were supposed to, in the Outback Bowl last year against Penn State. And so just from a perspective of a viewpoint and how things are viewed in college football, and it's so much, what have you done for me lately, a bowl game is huge. But from a look of what bowl games you're going to, you're supposed to play in the Texas Bowl. Then you play in the Outback Bowl. And then the Liberty Bowl, well, hold on, what's going on here? And I know that that's not necessarily fair to these football players and to the team, but from the outside perspective, it's always how people are going to look at it.
All right, Alyssa, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you on these Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Thanks, and see you Saturday at the game.
Thanks, Alyssa.
Thank you.
Football is back, and BetOnline remains your #1 source for all your football betting needs this season. You'll find the latest odds, matchup info, player news, and game trends. And as your continued source for all sports wagering info, BetOnline features live betting, free contests, live scores, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports and events like MLB, MMA, tennis, boxing, and even golf. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 100% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. Bet online, where the game starts.